Every time I make an interactive card, I can't stop playing with it, and they are such fun to give out. And I was kind of thinking why I don't make more of them, and sometimes I reckon it's just because I really like a clean and simple card design, and all those layers and everything can just be a bit intimidating, but they don't have to be. I have two cards I'm going to share with you today, two very clean and simple, easy to make cards using some fun new products from Allen Hudson. So we've got lots to do, so we better get started. Hello and welcome, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and I've got this Aloha set, and it was created by Julie Ebersole, and I thought it'd be great to get this girl tilting and rocking using this new interactive die. It's actually two in here, and both of these can be used in different ways. I'm going to talk you through them, but first I need to create something to interact with. So I've simply stamped out the elements that I want to use in some Memento Tuxedo black ink, so I can do some really quick Speedy Copic colouring here. I have included it, but I will link the chapters at the bottom of the video, so if you do want to just skip ahead to find out how the mechanisms work, you can just hover along the bottom of the video and go straight to that point. Otherwise, you can stay with me here and enjoy a bit of colouring. I have made it very quick though, and these elements are really fun. As usual, Julie has knocked it out of the ballpark. I just love her designs, and her stamp sets always have really fun extra little elements, like this little pineapple and the drinky thing here. No umbrella, but definitely a drink in my book. Has a straw. And also lots of great little sayings and the sentiments that she includes. I really like the fonts that she chooses as well, so ticks all the boxes for me. It makes my cards really easy to put together when there's such great thought out elements in the stamp set. I will list all the colours and all the products that I use beneath in the video description, but also I'll have lots more at my blog, so don't forget to head there. I always like to leave my stamps in place in the MISTI, and you might notice I did actually stamp this out twice here just by flipping my cardstock around, and then when I restamp this time, I'm actually restamping with some dark black pigment ink. I used the Nocturne this time, and now I'm just going to show you a little trick here. I kept the outline of the previous girl that I die cut, and what I've done here is I'm taping that piece of cardstock over top of this other coloured image, and then I can just place my die in place like in a jigsaw puzzle piece, kind of just fits right in there, and then I know that when I cut that out in my die cutting machine, it's going to cut perfectly. And this stamp and die set actually has a separate stamp for the skirt, so I did colour and stamp that skirt and die cut that out as well, but you'll see why when I get to that card in just a minute. I'm going to do a little bit of partial die cutting here because I want to make a panel to go on the front of my card, and to do that in the Gemini I've just held the top plate over the section that I want to cut out, and that way it's going to only cut to where the plate went to. Really easy trick. Now I've grabbed the Essential 4-bar rectangles. This is a nesting die set. It's from the Essentials by Allen collection. All their nesting basic essential dies are awesome. I use them all the time. And here's a box of goodies that hasn't seen the light of day in a million years. I found a Brad. Now this long mechanism from the Tilt and Rock die set is the one that we're going to be using for the rock. I have die cut an extra panel of white cardstock with the Essential 4-bar rectangle, and I'm just going to quickly stamp my sentiment out here with some eucalyptus ink, and this is going to be the portion that's at the front because I want my girl to be rocking out from behind the tree. So what I've got here is the rock mechanism. I'm just making a pencil mark here on my white cardstock, and if I had been clever I would have noticed that Julie did include a little die in the set. I could have simply die cut that circle instead of faffing about with it, but anyway, you live and learn. You'll know better than me because you'll know it's there. and you would have been able to die cut that out. Now I'm using a 5-cent piece. This is the smallest coin that we have in Australia. So I'm just adhering that with some strong double-sided tape to the rock mechanism on the rounded end of it. And then I've just inserted my brad to join the two pieces together, and just make sure that you don't make your brad too tight. Just leave it open a little bit so that it is able to swing and rock. And I did add an extra layer to my front panel. I die cut the image again with some 110-pound cardstock, so I could have it a little bit sturdier, because the only thing that's going to be holding that to the card front is the foam that I'm going to put along the base of where the sentiment is. And I have added that in a double layer all the way around, so that just basically gives a well for the coin to rock within. And on the sides of the actual front panel, I have added foam so that the coin doesn't rock out of the well. And of course she needed a drink because she was just a little bit thirsty, hiding behind the palm all day before she could rock out. And on this back panel here, because it has the brad piece that needs to rock, you know, when she swings, then I did add some foam squares so that wasn't flush with the back. The back of that panel wasn't flush with the front of the card. Just by having the foam squares, it just had gave it that little bit of space for swinging and rocking. How cool is she? Alright, now the second card today is easier, I promise. They're both easy and they're both clean and simple. And normally I don't think of interactive cards as clean and simple, but they certainly can be. And I think, you know, it's more my style of card, so I like it. That I can incorporate some interactive elements on a clean and simple design. So this time I'm going to use the tilting mechanism. Now I've already die cut the piece out of 110-pound Nina cardstock, and I've got some strong double-sided tape that I'm adding to both the end of the mechanism as well as to my coin. And I find that the coin works really well because it has that extra bit of weight to it. So you can use in the top part of this mechanism a 1/4-inch round foam dot, or even one of the replenishments from MFT. And I do have, these are old foam dots, so I actually did add a little bit of liquid glue here just to make sure that they were going to hold. And then for the skirt, to allow me to put the mechanism in place, I did use the die to cut that circle out of the skirt. And then I also added some more liquid glue to make sure my skirt was going to hold in place. So this is the second skirt that I made, and I did die cut it out with the coordinating die, but I didn't want the white piece at the edge of the die to show at the top of the skirt, so I came in with a pair of scissors and cut that portion away. Just then it looked like it flowed better with the image, but you could certainly leave that white edge on if you preferred. And she's really thirsty and hungry now after all of this rocking, so I gave her a drink and something to eat, a pineapple. Now it's important when you are attaching this to the front of your card to allow enough space behind for the mechanism to rock, and I did actually double up my foam tape here and added quite a bit, except for that middle portion there. And I did test it before I added it to the front of my top fold card. So I do hope you enjoyed both cards today and you're inspired to create a clean and simple interactive card. If you do, please tag me at social media. I'd love to see what you make. And if you get tilting and rocking, or rocking and tilting. If you like today's video, please click on the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, please click on the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I appreciate every visit that you make here and read every comment. So thanks for joining me yet again. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.